give a damn that you cheated, that somebody cheated on. I don't care. That brings fucking zero. He was telling me, and I hate to admit this because it's even though I can be loud and what do the kids call it now, too much or whatever it is when you wear like bright shoes or whatever. What's the term for that? People call it extra. You're extra is what the term is these days, I guess. I can do that. I mean, things like this, right? But he was just telling me, Nate, you gotta realize people aren't like you. They're not gonna just work 16-hour days. Nobody works at your speed. Nobody's gonna understand that you're a no-nonsense guy. You're gonna have to just accept that. And it's hard for me to do that because I legitimately, relevant if I'm in an upper office, a big office like this, or I'm in a tiny ass office like at Hardcore Fitness, or I am working out side by side with somebody that's 320 pounds a year ago that didn't know how to do a burpee. I don't consider myself any different than anybody else, to be completely honest. I think for me, it's simply just that I choose to do things differently from a mindset standpoint. But I don't think you or Ruben or Sherry just walked past her ballot was just on the camera. Frankly, is any different than me. I think it's just that I make different decisions, but I think that they're perfectly capable of doing the same thing. I think really anybody can do that. It's just a matter of understanding that their desire for life, their desire for where they want to be in life is if they found that yet. To be completely honest, because I'd be hard pressed to find that Ruben down there, which he doesn't do anymore, but he used to play video games all the time at his house. And I asked him, I said, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't play video games. I'm just curious, if you had the choice and you opened up your eyes, wouldn't there be things that you'd be more, you love guns, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to go talk to guys at gun stores and maybe just be more educated on guns and maybe open your own gun store one day? Wouldn't there be things that you'd want to do to educate yourself more, relevant to what it was you were educating yourself on more versus doing something brainless like playing a video game? And I said, you have to tell me, wouldn't you want to be out drinking with friends, socializing, just having fun? Sometimes I wonder why people make the decisions to do things, and if it's just because of their schedule, or if it's just because they maybe need this perspective, right? And so for me, I don't get excited on watching TV or playing video games, right? Or even like with my wife, just sitting there watching TV at night, her and I have a much more larger enjoyment in like going to Lake Havasu where you have a home and hanging out on a boat in the water. It's inexpensive thing, but it's fun. Or playing with the dogs or doing something like that versus just and enjoying that time versus just sitting down watching TV. So we do that where we work our asses off and then we'll take 3 or 4 days off, 10 times a year, right? And so I guess my point is that I just think if there's any advice for anybody, since this is completely impromptu, it's just start gaining perspective on where you spend your time and then what your mindset is on things, right? If you're not motivated, there's a reason behind it. It's not because you're not capable of being motivated. I can promise you that because I've seen hundreds of people become motivated that weren't, right? Case in point with Ruben down there. But I think it's really important they just get they surround themselves around people that are like-minded, right? That doesn't mean you have to be wealthy at all. Clearly, Ruben that works in my warehouse and I are drastically different professionally, but we're like-minded when it comes to our passion for life and wanting to have fun and having drive in certain areas of our lives, right? And so because you're around people like that, it's almost impossible not to want to be like that yourself. But if you surround yourself around people that are they're just kind of, meh, like that, there's not a lot to them. They don't have a lot of passion for life. They tend to be complainers. They tend to be negative, any of that, then it's going to be really hard for you to be out of that mentality too, right? And so people tend to get so caught up in that world that they can't take a step out of it and be like, okay, here's this green rug that you can't see that's underneath us here. If this is the world, is this the world I want to live in right now, or is it really making sense for me to be around these people, right? And my wife and I, even no disrespect to the majority of people that went to our wedding, they're not bad people, but our wedding would be probably 50% different right now, 60% different from 10 years ago. We literally have a completely different crowd that we hang around, good or bad. People can have their own opinions on that, but I think we just purposely surround ourselves around people that are very happy. Sean and Haley, shout out to them, we're good friends. Sean's birthday was the other day. Happy birthday, buddy. The same thing. You can't not want to be around people like that, right? Because they're just happy. You go around them and they're always smiling, they're always positive, no matter what kind of day they had, and they always they're always congratulating you and giving you compliments, and those are the type of people that I want to be around. And I can't imagine anybody else wouldn't want to be around if they experienced that type of environment for any period of time. So consider who you hang around with, consider if those people bring value to you, and consider if you bring value to them. I think that'll fundamentally change that mindset to creating things like we were just talking about when it comes to your drive, your motivation in life. I think it'll really help.
Nice.
It's really true. That's all actually really true too. I mean, I used to hang around a lot of people that were like, negative, but they're just kind of like, friends that like had girlfriends that didn't really care they had girlfriends. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
They're like they'd constantly chase after women, or they were just like very drama filled. I can't believe this person slept with this person. It's typical like 90210 bullshit, but in real life. And I have zero fucking interest in any of that stuff. Like I don't give a damn that somebody cheated on. I don't care. That brings fucking zero. I have literally negative interest in that type of conversation, right? Like, I just ignore it. I literally like start zoning out. People, you can see me. I like kind of get like a blank stare, and I just start thinking about something else because I have such little interest in drama. I have no time for it, right? So I think people tend to they start changing that mindset. They realize, how much better their lives can be because they're just not around. They're not involved in that crap. So. All right, let's take another picture here.